Read some really amazing books in January and February, and in today's video we are going to be talking about a few of them. Now, the first amazing book that I read last month was Malice by Kigo Higashino. Now, this book is written by Kigo Higashino, who I fell in love with when I read Devotion of Suspect X, which you guys had forced me to read. But this book was my own pick because I wanted to have more of Higashino, and I realized that this book is actually way better than Devotion of Suspect X. By the way, why do I keep forgetting to mention that all the links to all the books are in the description below, and if you want to shop them using the links in the description, because that helps me a lot in keeping posting content on my channel. Thank you. Back to Malice, it's about two writers, mainly one writer, and another writer actually gets killed, and the mystery is, why does he get killed? Who killed him? Now, this man actually has an alibi, and this man actually says that he was called by the man who died after his death, and he spoke to him. And there's also a person who listened to him speak to that person on the phone. And it's really crazy, and I loved this book. It has a lot of twists and turns, even more than Devotion of Suspect X in my opinion, and I love this so much. I really feel that this book must be more famous than Devotion of Suspect X, but it accidentally is not. But I really feel that if you're planning to pick up Higashino and want to read his best work, Malice is it. I will try a few more of his. He has also written this book called Salvation of a Saint, but right now I am just shook by Malice, and I can't take any more crime novels right now. The next book was an audiobook that I listened to on Storytel. The free trial link is in the description as usual, and you can get a 30-day free trial as well. And this book was 21 Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires. It is a book of about 2 hours. I listened to it on a faster speed, and it was amazing. He shared some amazing secrets about self-made millionaires, and if you apply some of them to your life, maybe you can be a millionaire very soon and thank me later because I introduced this book to you. The third book, which was amazing, was Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. I got this book in a book box, and I decided to read it because it is sort of a retelling of Frankenstein, which is an amazing book indeed. And it was written about 200 years ago. And this book is from the perspective of Elizabeth, who is sort of Victor's spouse. Victor is the scientist who made Frankenstein, and he is a crackhead. He's literally a crackhead. And he makes Elizabeth's life very, very difficult. And it's crazy. It's sort of destructive love, which is a forbidden sort of thing, and I really love reading that. However, I did wish that this book ended a little bit differently, but I'm not really unhappy, but then I'm a little bit unsatisfied with the ending. Another amazing book that I read was Becoming by Michelle Obama. I have a review of this video on my channel already, but I will say please read it right now and check out my review if you want to know more. Next book that I read and loved was Hemontir Pakhi by Suchitra Bhattacharya. I love Suchitra Bhattacharya. She's a Bengali author. I have read some of her books in Bengali as well, but I prefer reading the novels in English because I am not that fluent in Bengali. And now Hemontir Pakhi is this story about a middle-aged housewife who is feeling very lost in the world, and she just doesn't know what is her purpose. One of my favorite scenes in this book is one where she is talking to a parrot and it just does not budge. She has the parrot caged, the parrot cannot fly. She's wondering if she lets the parrot fly, if she just opens the cage, will the parrot be able to fly? Or sometimes birds, when they are caged for very long, they can't really fly anymore because they've forgotten how to do that. And she's wondering if that is the same thing that is happening with the parrot, and then she thinks if that is the same thing that is happening with her, because she used to be a writer, she used to write such amazing things, and she can't really write that well anymore. And even if she can, she can't pursue that anymore because now it's not really in her abilities. Her husband is not a bad one, but then not a very supportive one either, and it's just painful, and it just reminds us all of the human condition where you are always relying on somebody, and it also makes you feel like you need to break away. And then I read the short story called My Perfume Scented Novel, which was sort of similar to Malice in a couple of ways, but not entirely. It's not really a crime novel actually, but you must read it if you like short stories. And Ian McEwan is a writer that I've not read before. I had planned to, but it just never happened. But finally I found this audiobook, and it was just about 30 minutes, so I decided to read it to sleep. And yeah, it was amazing. It was an amazing story, but I really hope to read better from Ian McEwan. But this is definitely a satisfactory one. I hope you guys enjoyed these recommendations. recommendations. This was a very short video because I wanted to just quickly tell you guys about the books that I read and loved last month. I also read some really, really bad books, and it was not really a bad book, but there's this book called Poison of Love. I did not hate it, but the thing is, I had expected so much more, and it is, I really wanted to like it. It was a book by K.R. Meera, and I just did not like it. If you think that I've missed something in that book, because I know it's a story about destructive love, how love can destroy somebody entirely, but even then, I just could not like that book. It was too short. It was just things just it just didn't work out for me, and it was probably the worst book that I read last month. But the thing is, it's not a very bad book in itself. If you want to read a good book about destructive love, maybe pick it up, but it just did not work out for me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, make sure you give this video a big fat thumbs up. Comment below with the books that you have read last month and your favorites from them possibly, and I will be back with another video next week. Till then, bye bye.